This is CryptoTube, welcome to the channel. In today's video, taking you through reserve rights, RSR and RSV, so the two token model here for Reserve Protocol. If you're new to this, but maybe you've seen it shilled heavily on Twitter or you see it pumping on CoinGecko, hopefully I can show you exactly what it's about in today's video, but this is mainly going to be an update video building on top of the content I've already made on this one. So go and check out my back catalog on the channel here. You can see I've done 3 previous videos down here, all detailing specific parts of the development for this protocol. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. So the Reserve Protocol operates an app. This app is used in countries of hyperinflation. It's currently rolled out in Venezuela, Argentina, and Colombia. And essentially this allows residents to actually transact with a stable currency. So if you're a merchant or just an individual, you can convert your local unstable currency into RSV, the stablecoin, and that is backed by a basket of different stablecoins. And essentially this means people can go about their daily lives without the fear of hyperinflation, and this is getting traction over time. So currently we're in the first stage. It is backed by tokenized US dollars, but it will move to a decentralized phase where it'll be backed by the same basket of tokenized US dollars plus some other changing basket of assets, all stabilized to 1 USD. But then there will be an independent phase coming later on, and this is where the protocol wants to become a reserve currency of the world, which is kind of a big idea and massive goal to have, but this is something they're actually going after. The intent there would be to have RSV, which would stabilize its purchasing power over time. So irrelevant of whether the US dollar goes into hyperinflation sometime down the line, this would actually maintain your purchasing power for the long run and ensure your funds are not getting diminished away by inflation. The Reserve Protocol can be implemented on top of any smart contract platform or its own chain, currently on Ethereum, but it will become interoperable. The two token model, we have RSV, the stable crypto, and then RSR, which is the crypto used to facilitate the stability of the reserve token here. So the reserve token, RSV, is collateralized by assets. So we have tokenized assets pool here, and there needs to be a ratio maintained between the assets and the dollar peg. And of course, the dollar peg needs to be maintained around 1 US dollar. And of course, there are arbitrage opportunities if it goes above or below that value. So as a quick run through, when the price of RSV goes above $1 on exchanges, the protocol sells newly minted or excess vault RSV for either tokenized assets or RSR, driving the price back down to 1 USD. And when the price of RSV falls below $1, the protocol purchases RSV for tokenized assets, bringing it back up again. If those assets were to appreciate in value, then the vault will accumulate excess RSV, and then the RSR holders can purchase this with their RSR as part of the stabilization of the price of RSV. So RSR gives you the right to get involved with this arbitrage opportunity. And when the vault's ratio goes below the target range, the protocol will sell RSR for tokenized assets at that point. So this is really why you would hold the RSR token. You're going to have the ability or the right to get involved with the arbitrage opportunity. So if the excess pool exists, the reserve manager will sell reserve tokens from that pool for $1 worth of RSR tokens each, allowing the rights holders to perform an arbitrage loop that brings the price back to $1. But if there's no excess pool of reserve tokens, the manager will mint new reserve tokens and sell them for vault assets. My belief is there will always be a pool of individuals with these tokens willing to get involved with that arbitrage opportunity, and it could be a couple of percent, but it could be more than that. So having the right to arbitrage a stablecoin that could be widely adopted over time is a very enticing and potentially lucrative endeavor. So having summed that up, we can see the RSR token here, currently around 4 cents in value, market cap around $400 million, which does seem high, but for the scope of this project, it will go to billions. A quick look at the chart then, and you will see over the hype during the summer, we went up to a price of around 2.7 cents. This was around the Binance listing as well. We've gone back down a few times here, and then around the end of this year, around December 31st, start of January, we've gone on another rampage upwards. A combination of factors here, including PayPal and their crypto endeavors, the OCC's green light for stablecoin assets to be used by banks, all accumulating in a meteoric rise for RSR. So I'm going to leave a link to this podcast down below. So this was the AMA from December 30th. It was a very good listen. There's some intriguing questions on Coinbase, on PayPal, all those kind of things. So make sure you go in and listen to it. I really enjoyed listening to that. I want to share with you a few items from this podcast right now. So the first being that they've seen significant demand in Venezuela for the Reserve app, and that seems to be picking up pace. In terms of how the app itself works, if someone was to deposit bolivars, for example, and receive RSV tokens on the app, that is currently done by a human, so it is quite capital intensive and thus not scalable. However, over the start of this year, they've now gone into live testing for an automation of this process. And this, if successful, means they can start to really look to onboard mass numbers of users. So in terms of development of this protocol, this is a very important step. So Nevin Freeman, the CEO, mentions that this is going to be the year for expansion. We will also see the mainnet go live this year. And he says that during Q1 of 2021, there will be a PayPal integration. Now, this does not mean RSR or RSV being listed on PayPal, but it will allow app users to cash in and cash out via PayPal. So a very important payment rail there. Future conversations around RSR or RSV being added to PayPal for wider use is something that they will be discussing. But as of right now, PayPal are not looking to onboard more cryptocurrencies, but it is a conversation for down the line. Nevin did confirm that. So that is kind of the excitement around this project. They have deep ties to PayPal, and so putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5 maybe, but it does seem very exciting. So this is Reserve's Spanish feed on Twitter, Rsr Reserve, and this has been a purely organic growth that they've seen of 11,500 followers on here, which they mentioned was something they've been quite proud of because this is not including any advertising or marketing budget right now. They haven't had to push this, but the appetite is there. We've seen 2 movements of this type here. Heads up, some RSR will be moved to liquidity provider exchange accounts in a few days. So the RSR Rangers, we want to let you know that this movement was in advance in case the community is alarmed by this. So this is the Treasury article he's referring to here. So RSR withdrawal will be used for providing liquidity on new exchanges that choose to list RSR. Potentially Coinbase, maybe. The process of providing liquidity involves placing limit orders on both sides of the order book in a way that is generally market neutral. It typically reduces short-term volatility and leads to a more orderly market. Exchanges require this because it ensures their users can buy and sell the assets they list very easily with minimal slippage, and in some cases we intend to go above and beyond exchange requirements and facilitate even more liquidity for RSR and RSV, which we think is a worthwhile investment of energy when done right. So they've seen an uptake in exchanges wanting liquidity of their tokens, and potentially this is alluding to more exchanges coming. These exchange listings are in discussion stage and are not yet confirmed, but since our slow wallet takes 1 month time delay to actually get those coins out, RSR holders can take this into account. Any action we're taking is well in advance, and it is necessary for us to initiate a withdrawal now in order to be prepared. They've done this twice. They did this in October and now in January. So it is my expectation we're going to see a big listing sometime soon. The Reserve app will also have its own inbuilt exchange, and they kind of plan this out here in a Twitter thread, saying that the dream of a crypto speculation exchange is to connect users to all of the coins they wish to speculate upon. And the dream of any Reserve exchange is to allow users to move money in and out of any bank, payment app, mobile monetary system, or physical cash currency in the world. So when built out, it should look a bit more like this. So as you can see, Reserve, the currency there, linked to all different payment methods. And then the interface has to be extremely simple, and it should be like a modern banking or payment app, only faster, less restrictive, and more powerful. And you should be able to receive from any other payment method and have the money land in your RSV account. So if you wanted to pay someone in whatever currency, they should be able to receive that currency and then flip it into RSV as the stable coin of choice. And then this is what they are working towards. If this all goes well, we hope to roll out their trajectory, and it will look something like Uber's did first figure out in one place how it works, then work on replicating that. So Venezuela is our San Francisco. As we know, Uber started in San Fran down here. It worked, and they replicated that all across America before going international and absolutely parabolic. So this is the kind of rollout that they want to emulate. In November, we saw that RSR was taken on by Coinbase custody. This is pretty much a preamble to a full-on Coinbase listing, and so this did get investors' ears perked up, very much so. And of course, we know Coinbase are a major investor in Reserve Protocol, along with all the PayPal guys, amongst other people. Now, Coinbase Ventures, it says it's a digital currency exchange headquartered in San Fran, originally incubated by Y Combinator. Coinbase Ventures is an early stage venture fund focusing on investing in blockchain related companies. Clearly, having Coinbase as an early investor in your crypto is a great sign. Then seeing them add you to Coinbase custody, again, a good sign. And it's just a matter of time before RSR is listed on Coinbase. And with the earlier document, seeing that liquidity is being withdrawn to go and supply on exchanges, I'm putting two and two together, but I think Coinbase is the big next exchange coming for RSR, and this will see an explosion in price. If you are holding RSR, you do not sell until Coinbase listing is confirmed. That is a given. And of course, we have the PayPal guys here, Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Jack Selby, and the author of the PayPal Wars, Eric Jackson here. And this is something that, of course, Reserve are copying, the way in which PayPal expanded. So this is an article that Nevin posted just a few days ago, preparing to offer RSV incentives in order to accelerate Reserve app growth. So this is all about referral marketing to get more people to download the app and use it. We know this works very well, as seen by many companies using this in crypto and beyond. So they intend for 2021 to be a year of significant growth. And over the next few years, they want to have around 10 million people using Reserve regularly in Venezuela and Argentina. This kind of uptake in numbers would be far greater than most crypto apps have right now. We know that Crypto.com wants to go from around 5 or 10 million users right now to 100 million users, which is feasible. But when you look at whole countries adopting a protocol, these numbers could be blown out the water, and we could see the likes of 100 million total users. Nevin says that he sees whole segments of populations using crypto dollars as their main savings and spending accounts, and RSV could lead the trend with this. And if their model works at scale, these will just be the beginning countries. They've also pinpointed Lebanon, they've pinpointed Nigeria, amongst other countries that would benefit from the app. And this will just continue as we're seeing the inflation of many fiat currencies right now. In order to accelerate this kind of growth, they're unlocking 3.81% of total RSR supply to offer referral incentives to Reserve app users. They're doing the unlock many months in advance so that we have time to slowly and patiently convert RSR to RSV without any significant impact on RSR markets. And as they're the largest holder of RSR, clearly it is not within their benefit to actually suppress price. So they want to do this and let us know they're doing this and try and minimize their impact on the market. So there will be no dumping or market selling of RSR. And as they've stated before, the project has years of cash runway for operating expenses. So this is not a need-based fundraise. So as an investor, this again is a green tick in my book, and it shows transparency and honesty from this team. And if you go and just dive into some of the podcasts that they've released, Nevin seems like a very trustworthy individual. And here we have the PayPal context, and clearly having a load of PayPal guys as your advisors, you can see that they're going to mimic the things that worked well for PayPal. So PayPal said that we began the year 2000 with 12,000 users. 6 months later, they had 2.2 million users. And as of December 31st, 2001, 12.8 million accounts. And the trajectory just went onwards and upwards. They now have over 300 million users. PayPal had a breakout product which was designed to be viral. Accelerated by the fact they had incentives, PayPal offered users $10 for each person they referred and $10 to each new person that joined. Referral schemes work very well, especially when you have an app as well. The network effect can be very simple and you can achieve high growth rates in very quick periods of time. 2021 is going to be the year of growth for Reserve, and I expect it to be a meteoric rise in their market cap as well. So for me, this is a sleeping giant. It's already been awoken slightly. It's not a micro cap anymore. It is a mid cap, but it could be one of those coins that really goes towards the top 10 of all cryptos over some time and given a full bull run under its belt. So let me know your price predictions for RSR down below. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.